So I don't know how long this will get, but welcome back to another video. From the previous video, I started talking about this tree trimming truck here, and it got me talking about tree trimming with my Karate Master and stuff. And I started talking about how I'm older, and how I could make my body do it. I could feel the difference with the foundry. I'm still strong enough. I could work at the foundry and stuff, but I could feel it tearing down my body, and of course, God wanted me out of there. God really wanted me out of there. He wanted me to come up here. Now, I don't know what to do because I was hearing him so strong before, and now I'm not hearing him strong like that. It's weird, but I know I'm supposed to be up here because every time I start doubting that's supposed to be up here, then he'll reconfirm it. He'll send somebody else or I'll run into somebody else that needs my help or something. And had I not if I wasn't here, I wouldn't be here to help and stuff. I have plenty of stories about it in my other videos, and it's been amazing. I had a guy right in front of before I was parked right here. Of course, the snowbanks were really huge because that's where they plowed all the snow over. And he was right in front of me here, working on his truck when I was going to got up in the morning, I was going to go to the library to upload videos. And he was working on his truck, and of course, I might not have money or nothing, but I got hands and brains, and I'm smart. Figured I'd help him. Well, he said water pump. We changed out his water pump together. And because I helped him, it went a lot quicker having an extra set of hands, to hold stuff in place while one's threading the bolts and stuff, And it went a lot smoother that way with two of us. But that was during one of the times I started doubting stuff that, maybe I heard God wrong or something. But I started talking to this guy. Next thing you know, it turns out the neighborhood that I grew up in from when I was like 5 years old to like 10 or 4 years old to 10 or 11 years old, he's still in that neighborhood. When I started talking about how God sent me up here and all this stuff, and I said, it's okay if you don't believe in God, you don't mean to push down your throat. I'm just telling you my story, And so I was just to keep conversation going. And I don't know why, but I started talking about how I used to live down in the Sherman Forbes apartments by the Ramsey house and the Four Paws and stuff. And when I was a kid, and he's like, "Get out of here!" He was freaking out. I'm like, "Yeah." Well, I said, "That's where I live. I still live down there." Well, it turns out, even though he's like 6-7 years older than me or whatever, so we didn't hang out together, but we grew up. That whole time frame I was there, he lived right in my neighborhood. So we knew all the same people and everything. And I'd start saying somebody's name. Like I had a friend of mine who's older brother. And I said his name and started talking about him. And right away he shouted out his nickname. And I was like, yeah. I said, I hung out with his little brother. So everybody, I knew everything I said. He knew, it was just amazing. So that was just another way God was confirming to me that I was supposed to be here. Because if I hadn't been gone from the foundry and come up here, like God told me to, I wouldn't have been here to help him. And that he grew up in 5-6 years of my life, I just was too young to hang out with him because he was older. I was hanging out with the younger kids, their younger brothers or whatever. If he would have had a younger brother or younger sister, I would have known her better. But yeah, it was really wild. And that kind of stuff keeps happening over and over and over. Just different stuff every time. It seems like every time when I start getting really discouraged, and I start debating with God about, come on, what am I supposed to do here, And I keep asking him to guide me or show me that, and I want to get to work or make money or something. I want something to happen. I keep doing this channel, and I've been starting to get my other channel, some videos going to that again, because that's been on hiatus for the last 4 years since all my craziness happened, but all my family stuff. But every time I've had really good job interviews and stuff, I haven't been hired. And God told me, that he didn't want me to work a normal job. And so I don't know. I haven't quite figured it out yet, what he wants me to do. But I've been debating with him quite a bit about it. I've been getting really frustrated. But, like I said, even though I've had all these interviews, and the interviews have went really well, I've even, right here in Walmart, I've got like 5 applications, I think, in Walmart. Maybe even 6, but it's 5 for sure. And I even renewed them. They never sent me, I never got an interview or nothing from them, but they did send me an email thing that my applications were going to expire. Did I want to renew them? I was like, so I said yes. And the interviews I've had went really well, but I haven't been hired. So I kind of feel like if God don't want, no matter how hard I try, it seems like if God don't want me to work, I ain't gonna work. And I made it through the whole winter with nothing, and it was because of the community and the churches and stuff. Well, community, But had it not been for the churches in the community, it was hard, it was hard for my pride and stuff too, but I did apply and got EBT, for food. But, the community is just, God's blessed me with community and people and had them come help me. I just don't know how to think of it all, but I'm really frustrated, and I'm not afraid to work. I worked, that Founder is the hardest job I've ever worked, and I lit it up there. I did really good there. But it was tearing down on my health. I could feel it. And I'm glad I'm out of there, because I started researching all the chemicals that I was exposed to and stuff, and yeah, it's not good. I actually feel bad for the people that's working Founder that's staying there a long time. That's like a young person's game, and they shouldn't. I don't know, man. I think people should only work there few years at a time, crack, and get the heck out of there. And that's still exposing you to quite a bit. It's just like if you were working for like the government or a nuclear power plant or something like that. You don't want to be around that stuff forever. You do a short-term period, so you only have a minimum amount of exposure, and then you got to get out of there. I don't know. I should look that up on Google or something. I should see if there's any information about how long, like people that work around, radiation type stuff or harmful chemical stuff or whatever. Is there a game plan for that where they try to cycle people through quicker so they don't have long-term exposure? Because if you make it your whole life, well, it's gotta just tear your life up. Just like coal miners and stuff, getting black lung and stuff. Now we've got better technology for stuff, and they got better respirators and stuff like that. But, back in the day when they were just going in there with a hard hat and a light on their head or whatever, you're getting all kinds of lung diseases and stuff. I don't know. But I sure keep praying to God that abundance is coming soon, that the blessings, the changes and all that it's coming soon. I don't want to sound like a fathead, but I do deserve it. I know I do. And I don't mean it in a conceited way. I've been a really good man all my life. Helped lots and lots of people. Don't matter if I had money or didn't have money, I helped people. When I had money, I'd help them physically or with finances or whatever I could do, depending on the situation and what it was. But I've been following all this stuff that I'm going through now. I'm following what God says. I've always done what God says. Even if people think I'm goofy or something, I don't know. It's always turned out really good. I've had a really good life. I don't hope I'm not going anywhere anytime soon, but I don't want to keep going through what I've went through this winter. Although I did learn a lot from it, But I hope I'm done with this holding pattern season or whatever it is that I'm in. I don't know. I'm venting again tonight. I just now realized it. I'm starting to vent instead of being all positive and upbeat. And I know it's going to change. I do, but I'm just getting frustrated and want it to happen already. But if it would have happened right away, I wouldn't have been there for a lot of people I've been there for, and I wouldn't have learned things I've learned. I've definitely learned how to run a tight budget. Let me tell you, when you got nothing and every time you get a little something, you don't want to spend it, and you want to spend it wisely. So, then I almost become like a penny pincher. I almost don't want to spend nothing, but I have to, because through the winter I had to get diesel and stuff for heat, and I still got to do that. I got diesel right now, so I don't have to do it now. But I spent all my money. I got some ones left. I got a few ones left, and but they had a gas sale Thursday. It's Saturday now. They had it 40 cents off. And even though gas prices are high, when you get 40 cents off, and it ended up being 50 cents off, because it went from like $4.19 down to $3.70 or something like that. So it ended up being like 50 cents. It was almost like gas prices went down 10 cents, and then they had their 40-cent sale going on. So yeah, so I wanted to put it all in the gas tank, because this was getting down towards empty. But I had to save some for diesel, so I did. And now I'm not empty. I got almost a half a tank, so that's good. And since I got that, I've only driven, a block or so over to this lot, and then today I ended up driving 2 blocks over behind Perkins to my friend, because he was going to DoorDash today, and apparently when he was over here, he was outside of the zone that they were looking for or something. So I'll go over to park behind Perkins. We can visit over there, and maybe that'll put you in the zone, because all the restaurants are over there. And it did, and we got over there, put them in the zone. So, and I don't know, I've never DoorDashed before, so. And I can't DoorDash in this camper, because it only gets like 8 miles to the gallon, so. Unless I'm on the highway doing some long running highway stuff, then I get like 10, 12 maybe. It's due for a tune-up though. I mean, I take really good care of it. I put over $5,000 into everything, the drivetrain and everything, but it could probably use, new spark plugs and wires and stuff maybe, I don't know. Still starting and running good, but wouldn't hurt to have a good tune-up put on it, I'm sure. To get an oil change for too awful long too. I don't think I've went over the miles or not, but I really don't. I don't even know what that's at right now. Let's see. Oh no. Because I've been so stuck here. I could still go I still got another 2,000 miles I can go yet. Normally I'd burn that up pretty quick when I was working. I'd go going through oil. I'd get oil changes real quick, because I'd hit 3,000 miles quick. Even though I could do, I think this one is for like I can't remember what it is, 4 or 6,000 miles or something like that, or something. I don't know. But I'd do it at 3,000 anyway. Once I hit 3,000, I'm looking at getting an oil change. And when I was working, I'd hit that 3,000 pretty quick, because I started trying to live life. Oh, that's what I was going to talk about in this video. And it's almost time to end it again, because it's getting long. I'm going to talk about stuff I want to do, because I'm getting older. And I want to be able to do it before I can't move around and stuff. Or because, who knows, my eyes could go bad and I won't be able to drive no more. Or if I don't know, what if I get dementia? I can't do it then either. So while I'm still coherent and stuff, I'd like to travel the United States and see like the Grand Canyon and the Golden Gate Bridge, or the Independence Hall where the Constitution and stuff is. Just there's stuff in the United States I'd like to see, and I know that in the process of that, God's always sending people to me or me to them. So I know that in the process of traveling, I know God will have me send me to people along the way. I know He will. I just know it. But I got to figure out how I'm going to pull that off, how I'm going to do it, because I don't have the finances for it right now. And I know I'm supposed to come here, but I feel like I'm supposed to get a home base here, and I don't know how I'm going to do that either. I got this little 400 square foot house that I keep dreaming about. They want more than it's worth, because it's old and needs a lot of work. But I don't know. I just really feel I can't stop thinking about it. So I don't know. And I don't even know. I don't have a clue how I could get it. Of course, then me and my mom, when she wanted to get a house, We looked at so many different houses for a couple years in a row and made it happen. I helped her out a lot. I got rid of my house and stuff and that, but it all got taken. I can't talk about that right now. Get more frustrated. But I hope you don't mind me venting. I guess it's going to be kind of a venting video a little bit. So, like I said, I just turn on the camera and whatever happens, happens. Sometimes I'm silly and goofy and fun, but no, it seems to be more in the daytime. You know, I've been silly in the nighttime too, though. But I have been kind of stressing out and fighting the blues a bit, so that's probably why I'm venting tonight, just to get it out. But thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Talk to God. You can tell him Darren says hi if you feel like it. And God bless you. And we'll see you on the next one.